Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome to your English session. This is going to be an online course so that we can fulfill the requirements of your class, which is English 1. Let's start. My name is Daniel, and I'm going to be in charge precisely of this course. Let me switch this thing. What is the content of the course? We're going to be working just with two main topics, which are parts of the speech. I'm going to divide them into different videos, and with some little exercises that are very easy for you to fulfill and also to understand. And we will have like these micro lessons by video so that you follow precisely the topic that I present. And we will also have like some extra help during the week. And the number 2 will be reading strategies that have to do with the skimming and scanning, also with some exercises for you to complete. The evaluation, well, as this is an online course, you're responsible of your progress and timing. You can finish the platform in 1 hour or 2 hours, or you can take that week and a half. So as you can see, there are videos and activities that you have to complete in order to get a grade. Remember that the passing grade is 6. The course will be able from Monday 14th, which is the following Monday, to Friday the 23rd of July. You have this week and a half to complete the course. On Thursday and Friday, the 24th and 25th, the readings that we were going to use to assess you are going to be available also for you to answer them. I will have a tutoring every Wednesday in case you need it at 7 at night, because we're having like a lot of trouble with the shifts that you have. So we're just trying to make it easier. And I am also leaving you the link so that in case you need to get connected, I'm going to see you there this Wednesday and the following so that you can have a tutoring. This is going to be the evaluation, the platform. If you do all your exercises, you definitely get a 6. And well, what you get from both readings, it's going to be added to your final grade so that you can complete your 100%. So let's begin with the course. And today we're going to talk about a noun. And the question that I have for you is, what is a noun? According to the definition that we have from internet, a noun is a word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. And this is something that I want to point out. I'm going to annotate over here. It's a word that names. Okay? This is essential. All the names that you give to a person, to a thing, to a feeling, to an animal. Over here in the picture, you see, no? Person, object, place, and the name that you give to that is a noun. In my case, Daniel is my name. Daniel is a noun. It's a proper noun. I have a bottle. I have a bottle of water. Okay, bottle is a noun. That's a common noun. What do you feel when you see your boyfriend, girlfriend? You feel love. Love is also a noun. Yes, it's the love that I feel for that person. I don't touch it, I don't see it, but I give a name to that feeling. Okay, I can have also a collective noun, a group of people. No, for example, when you have a group of dogs, you say a pack of dogs, etc., etc. No, here we have some basic examples like a person, teacher, doctor, Maria. All of them are nouns. Places, school, park, Mexico, etc. Things, phone, chair, book, and ideas, love, freedom, and happiness. All of them are nouns. And why is it important for us to identify what a noun is? In reading comprehension, sometimes it's necessary to identify who's performing the action and who's receiving that action. If I perform that action, I become the subject of the sentence. If I receive that action, I become the object of the sentence, as we can see in the example that is at the very bottom part of the screen. Now you say, the cat is sleeping. No, in this case, the cat is the one that is performing the action, and it's the subject. But if I say the cat plays with a ball, ball is also a noun because it's an object, no? And we give a name to that object. That object is a noun. So the one that is performing is the cat, and the one that is receiving is the ball. So that is the subject and the object. Okay, I think that we're going to go a little bit further on this explanation. And we also have countable and uncountable nouns. A countable noun, it's a noun that it's definite and that you can put a number before the noun. You can say 1 cat, 2 cats, 3 cats, 4 cats, 1,000,000 cats, and you pluralize it. Cat, cats, dog, dogs, chair, chairs. While the uncountable ones are usually substances, water, bread, cheese. They are not exactly definite. If I ask you to think of a piece of cheese, you may think of queso Oaxaca, queso Gruyere, or queso. So there are differences over there, and the sizes are also different. So it's not very well defined. We think of it more as a substance. Okay, good. I'm going to switch this screen. And I think that I'm going to go a little bit further with this explanation. When we talk about an subject or object, the subject of my sentence is the one that does, the one that performs. And I say, Isabel reads a book. What is the name of the person? The name of the person is Isabel. And what does she read? She reads a book. So this is going to be my object. My object answers the question, what? Okay, so I say, what does Isabel read? What does Isabel read? This is my direct object. Direct object. Okay, so we say that Isabel reads a book. The subject is easier because the subject is the one that makes the action. The subject is the one that starts or performs the action. She does it, no? Let's do it with something more understandable. And you say, Luis kisses Salma, no? So I ask the question, what does Luis kiss? And we find the direct object. Direct object. This is Salma. Okay? The subject is Luis because Luis performs the action and Salma receives that action. Now, something else that you have to take into account. These subject or objects can also be pronouns. And what is this? A pronoun, it's a word that goes instead of the subject or that goes instead of the object. But depending on the position, you're going to have to use the correct one. Isabel reads a book. If I want to switch this Isabel for a pronoun, we say that Isabel becomes a she. She reads a book. A book can also have a pronoun, but in a different position because it's in the position of the object. So I say she reads it. I can also switch. Luis kisses Alma. What is the pronoun for Luis? It's a boy. So we say he kisses she. In this case, no, because she is a subject and we need an object. So we say he kisses her. Okay? It's necessary for us, I'm going to look for it here on internet, subject and object pronouns. And here we have some charts that we can use and we're going to add precisely to our presentation. I'm going to add it here. And you got it there. Subject pronoun, if I do the action, I say I. But if I receive the action, I say me. If I do the action, I say you and you. Thanks God over here, they are the same. But if if another person's received an action and it's a boy, you say him or her. What would happen if I switch, for example, the position and I say Salma, he says Luis. Now Salma is the subject and Luis is the object. So we go to the subject of Salma. The subject of Salma, it's going to be she. Kisses. And what is the object of Luis? Luis is a boy. It's a he. So the object, it's receiving. So you say him. You're usually given this chart, but nobody explains you how they work. Now, I don't know if you have any questions, but there are going to be some questions about precisely identifying if you are working either with the subject or with the object in a sentence. Now, we continue. What about, let me erase this circle because it's a big distractor. There we are. What about the other ones? On the other hand, we're going to have countable and uncountable nouns. First, I'm going to start with countable nouns. Countable nouns are nouns that can have a number before and be pluralized. Pluralized. For example, I was giving you the example of the cat. So I say cat, singular. I pluralize it and I put a number before any number. To my mind comes 7. So I say 7 cats, pluralized. I also gave you the example of the dog. I say dog. Let's pluralize it, another number. Let's think of 10. And I say 10 dogs. Remember here that we have some irregular plural nouns. There are many, but honestly, we only use like the most common ones that are the ones that I am going to show you. Irregular plural nouns. Let's take this. These are some examples, no? So I'm going to paste it here. And we have irregular plurals. For example, you say a man and men. So you say one man, would you say 4 men or 2.5 men, like the series? No. So that's why we only have one Spider-Man, one Superman, one Batman, but we have the X-Men because there are many. Okay, these are the countable nouns. They can be pluralized and they can have a number before. Uncountable nouns, though, are totally the opposite. Let's write it here. And we say uncountable nouns are nouns that can't have a number before and they can't be pluralized. I am going to paste this image in another presentation so that you have complete access to it. These are irregular nouns. I got it all. Okay, so you say woman, women, person, people, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, child, children, mouse, mice, ox, oxen. And over here, we're going to continue with, they are usually substances or undefined elements. Elements. Sorry, my typewriting is not the best. So you say water. Can you pluralize water? You can pluralize bottles of water, glasses of water, no, tanks of water, but not exactly water. So there we are. Coffee, the substance. You can have a cup of coffee, but not exactly 2 or 3 coffees. Teacher, the other day I heard that in the bar, a person said, give me 2 beers. Yes, it's possible. Colloquially, it becomes very possible. But remember that we are in a formal academic register. So over here, beer, it's not going to be countable, no? Etc. etc. In this case, we don't usually have, we never have a number because we cannot pluralize it. You don't say beers, you don't say coffees, you don't say waters. There are going to be some others which can be countable and uncountable at the same time, depending, my favorite expression, depending on the context. And what is this? For example, how many stars are there in the universe? It's impossible to know. But if you look at the sky, sometimes you say, hey, look at that star. It is my favorite star. I want to have a star like this. In that case, a star can be countable and uncountable. Yes, depending on the context. Hair, for example, if you say like, how many hairs does your classmate have? It's going to be impossible. But if you say how many hairs does the teacher have? It's very easy, probably 1 or 2. Okay, so in general, that's what the noun is. Yes, it's the name that you give to the person, to the animal, to the object. And the basic definition, it's precisely this, in which we have countable and uncountable, and they can be subject and object. I hope that you don't have any questions, and if you do so, I wait you in the tutoring. Thank you.